Today I'm sharing a really fun ink blending technique, gradient ink blending on die cuts. I'll be working with the Craft Your Life project kit from Altenew and showing you how to create smooth, seamless color transitions on your die cut shapes. This is a great technique for adding depth and interest, especially when you're working with layered dies or smaller detailed pieces. So I'll walk you through my ink blending process, color placement, and a few tips to help keep your gradients soft and controlled. All of my supplies will be linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. I'm going to be using the Craft Your Life project kit stitched with love, and in particular, the layering die set, which includes these skeins. This was definitely something that drew my interest because I'm a cross stitcher and I love being able to incorporate both loves onto a card project. So I have my love of stitching and I'm going to have my love of ink blending. I first had gone through and die cut both layers of my skeins from white cardstock, and then I picked out a rainbow of color to do my skeins, and I'll talk about each color as I go. So what I wanted to do was have a gradient on each skein. For the first one, I'm going to have pink going into orange. So I started out with rose quartz, which is a really light pink. It comes from the Rose Petal collection, and I'm going to apply that color using a small blending brush to both the top and the bottom layer of this particular die cut. Then I came in on the other end. This is going to be using the color Sunkissed, which is from the Warm and Cozy collection. Now, I realized that my orange came in pretty intense, so I wanted to match that intensity, and I decided to come back in over the pink using Puffy Heart. So it's just the next darkest color in that rose petal collection. I'm not going to layer anything or glue anything down just yet. I wanted to get my rainbow collection done first before I do that, but here is a look at how those two would layer over the top. Now, I do adjust this a little bit later on. You'll see a trick that I do to make those stand out. For the next skein, I'm going to be using that same sun-kissed color, so that same orange, and then I'm going to go on the other end using a yellow color, and this one's going to be Sunray. It comes out of the Golden Sunset collection. So you're going to notice that some of the colors I'm going to use on two different skeins to be able to create my gradient. Now, a gradient is a smooth transition of two or more colors. So, really, you want to make sure that these two colors overlap nicely. And that's really, to me, in ink blending where the magic happens is when those two colors overlap and start creating a new color. For the green to yellow or yellow to green, I did once again the sunray and then I had used firefly. Then for the next skein, I did Firefly with Pool, which I think may be my favorite gradient. So if any of these gradients are something that catches your eye, be sure to jot them down or swatch them out so you can use them in your projects. Then I did the pool and I had that be a gradient with wisteria. Now, keep in mind, I did use those same colors for both the top and the bottom layer. And I noticed that I just wasn't getting enough separation or distinction between the layers. So, what I decided to do was go through each of those collections and just go to the next shade darker. And I applied that color to the bottom layer for each one. Adding that darker shade of ink to each of those base pieces is really going to help create that separation and really make that top layer stand out a little bit more. So it was just taking the next darkest color out of each of the collections. The collections I'm using are again Rose Petal, Warm and Cozy, Golden Sunset, Green Valley, Aqua Island, and Enchanted Garden. There was only one that I did not step up to the next color, and that was the Puffy Heart, mainly because the next color would be pretty intense, and I just went a little heavier handed with the Puffy Heart to make it darker. Then I went through and I could start attaching everything. Once I was really happy with how all of the colors were, I could attach the top layer to that base layer. And then I'm also adding the bands that holds all of the skeins together. And I die cut all of those out of some brushed gold cardstock. I thought about using black here for those bands because that's what it would be on my DMC floss, but I thought the black would be a little bit too harsh compared to the rest of the card. So here are all of my rainbow skeins kind of laid out. You can see how I actually did a pattern. So I did pink to orange, then orange to yellow, yellow to green, green to blue, and blue to purple. Now I need to create my background, and I'm really using some inspiration that was provided in the Altenew pamphlet in our Craft Your Life project kit. I took that inspiration, used it as kind of a guide, but was able to change it up and make it my own by varying my colors. So this is the large rectangle image from the Craft Your Life project kit, and I'm going to ink it up using Shattered Shell ink. The Shattered Shell comes from the Earth Tones ink collection. Because I want to have my skeins on my card front going vertically, I stamped the background horizontally across my card panel, which measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I did off screen try to do that pattern vertically, but it just didn't look as eye catching as doing it horizontally. I had stamped a couple sentiments from the Craft Your Life project kit off screen. One of them I did heat emboss on black cardstock with white embossing powder. And as I was deciding on the finished card design, I'm going to create a card base. So I like to create side folding card bases. I used my scoring board and my bold and folder to reinforce that fold on my card base. I do hold my card front together with a little bit of low tack tape as well to keep it shut while I'm attaching the card front. Then I'm going to pop up each of the skeins on the front of my card project. So I am using some thin foam tape that I just trimmed and added to the top, bottom, and middle of each of the skeins. I'm lining them up on the card front in that fun staggered look. And then once I have it lined up, I can go ahead and remove the backing of all of the foam tape and add those to the card front. I like to use tweezers because it keeps my hands out of the way and I'm able to see more of the card project and make sure that everything is staying lined up and perfectly centered between the margins. Although I really do love sentiments that are heat embossed in white on black cardstock, I thought it was just a little bit almost too harsh for my card project for today. So I opted to go with the Hello Friend that I had stamped in Obsidian ink onto white cardstock and used the coordinating die to cut it out. I placed some of that same thin foam tape behind the letters in between the skeins, so I was able to pop up my sentiment on the front of the card. I'm going to finish the project off by bringing in some of the antique gold stellar sequins. There is quite a variety of sizes, so I picked out two of my favorite sizes, and I'm going to add them to the front of the project using a little bit of liquid glue and my perfect picker. The antique gold was a great way to kind of help draw in the wrapping on my skeins that I had die cut out of the brushed gold. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope this gave you some inspiration to try gradients on your die cuts and explore new ways to use ink blending in your projects. Be sure to check out the description below for supplies, and I'll see you again real soon. If you want to see more ink blending techniques, be sure to check out this next video.